and welcome back to my channel. I have been wanting to put this video up for a while and now I'm getting around to filming it, and I'm excited to tell you about this book. This is actually the first book in a series of books that I'm going to be telling you about. Not all the books I'm going to be telling you about today, just the first one in this series. And this is one of my most favorite series, and if you guessed Harry Potter, you're wrong. I know, shocker, but it is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I love these books. Sarah J. Maas has a way of writing that just sucks you into the book and makes you not want to put it down. So I am going to read you the insert off the back, and then I'll fill in a couple other little pieces. This book is about 416 pages long. It's a super easy read. I know some of you are like, 400 pages, that's a lot, but it's really not. I promise it goes by really fast. So this is what the insert on the back says. It says, when 19-year-old huntress Feyre kills a wolf in the woods, a beast-like creature arrives to demand retribution. Dragged to a treacherous magic land she knows about only from legends, Feyre discovers that her captor is not an animal, but Tamlin, one of the lethal immortal fairies who once ruled their world. As Feyre dwells on his estate, her feelings for Tamlin transforms from icy hostility into a fiery passion that burns through every lie and warning she's been told about the beautiful, dangerous world of the Fae. But an ancient, wicked shadow over the fairy lands is growing, and Feyre must find a way to stop it or doom Tamlin and his world forever. So, I first spotted this book when I was actually working at a bookstore, and I kept putting it back. It's like, no, I'm not really into fantasy stuff. Eventually, I picked it up, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. Fell in love. The first, I think it's the first, 5-ish chapters before she goes with Tamlin. Took me a little bit to get into because it was just basically giving some background information on Feyre and her family. Because it's Feyre, her two older sisters, Elaine and Nesta, and her father. Her mother died when she was young. Her family is very poor. They used to have money and they lost the doll, and now they're very poor, and that's why she's hunting. So that little bit of background information is a little bit slow, but there's a reason for it. You need to know these things as you move through the book. But once she goes above the wall, because there in this book there is a wall that separates the fairy lands from the mortal lands, and Tamlin takes her above the wall. And once she gets above the wall, things start picking up really fast. She starts learning more about the fairies and why she's there, and about this blight that Tamlin keeps talking about, which is really a person. Well, not really a person, it's another fairy. And she goes on adventures with Tamlin, starts to kind of fall in love with him and really fall in love with him. And about the time that she is like, yes, I love him, he sends her home. He sends her home. So she goes back home, and then while she's home she realizes, I need to go help save Tamlin and his people from whatever this blight is. So she goes back, and I won't tell you any more than that, because even though I really, really want to, because there is so much of this book and I don't want to spoil it. I don't like being a spoiler. So, yeah, I love this book. But I am going to give a little spoiler right here. So spoiler alert across the screen, really big. You will fall in love with Tamlin in this book. You will. Don't get too attached though. He doesn't die, but don't get attached. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I honestly give this book a 10 out of 10. I know you all are probably gonna get tired of me saying 10 out of 10 on some of these books. There are some books that I don't give 10s on, and I will get to those eventually, but right now we're talking about this series. This is considered a fantasy young adult type book, but I think you need to be more on the mature side because there are some mature topics in these books. So if you think you or your niece, nephew, daughter, son, whatever is on the mature side, definitely read this book. It is so good. I highly, highly recommend it. I wish I could give you every little detail of this book. I really do. But I don't want to spoil it, and I want people to go read these books. And my honest impression of this book the first time I read it, I needed more. I needed more. Thankfully, the second one had already been written and put out at that time, so I could grab it. But I'm literally so in love with these books. I can't tell you any more amazingness about it. I will give you a few more little spoilers. There's a character that pops in here named Reese. You will learn to love him. You will hate him in this book. I promise. You will hate him, because I did it first. But you'll learn to love him. And before anybody gets ahead of themselves, Reese is my book boyfriend, and I will fight you. Anyway, I highly recommend this book. I know this video is really short, but like I said, I don't want to go into too many details of these books because I do want you to read them for yourself, and I don't want you to just use my video as a way to be like, oh, well, I read it. No, you didn't. Read the book. It is amazing, I promise. Or if you want to go on Audible, my husband, Michael, has listened to all of them on Audible, and he's not a reader, and he loves these books as much as I do. I think he's listened to them quite a few times by now. So go on Audible. I think it's $14.95 a month, and you get one free book a month with that, and you can listen to these books. I listen to them from time to time, and I prefer to read instead of listen. So however you prefer to do it, read it, listen to it, whatever. Pick up this book and definitely read it. So, but that is all for this video. I know it's short, but I had to get to the point with this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and stick around for my future book reviews. I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to finish the rest of the books in the series with book reviews, and this author has another series called Throne of Glass that I am currently reading. That I'm going to do reviews on, and she also has a new book coming out in March that I will definitely review for you all, and then I will review any other book series you want me to. Throw some out there and I'll totally do a review for you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.